Okay, guys, pending approval on the owner, I'm thinking this probably should be done for a street application. Is it the CFM he was hoping for? No, it isn't. Sorry, guys, that's work. Actually, that's my buddy that does the mud motors. He came over and we did some load tests on some springs. He's got some breakage, and we're working on fixing that up. Okay, doesn't look anything like it used to. Let's go to the just CNC outer port. This is obviously the outer port. That's what it looked like just out of the CNC machine. Now he dyno tested a set of these. They weren't even CNC. They were just as cast. They didn't do great. It was on a 461. It didn't have any quench. Nowhere near where he wants to be. So yes, I shrunk the port considerably. I do have to CNC it. It's almost all my epoxy, so that's no problem. As you notice, the dykem is absolutely banging. I've got, you notice how I turned the fin in the roof versus the fin in the bowl a little bit different. They're offset a touch. I figured if I made it completely straight, we may have no swirl at all, and I didn't really want that to happen. As a matter of fact, I need to figure out which way this was spinning. Let's do that. I'll just take a second. Okay, looks like our swirl is going this way, so we know it's a hyperactive short side. So, but if we take a look at the way our liquid is coming out. Now, if you remember back when I had a bigger valve in here and a bigger port, it would come out at a steep angle like this. It's still in this area, even though the bowl is mostly filled in. In reality, that roof has been filled with at least a half an inch of epoxy, so the port has been shrank considerably. But we had no roof speeds to begin with. It was only 50 feet per second. And our roof speeds are in the 190s now. Very close side to side. I had to fill this wall considerably because it was totally dead. It's not totally dead now. It's only about 160. So if your roof is 190, 160, not terrible. Could I fill it in more and do some more work? It's a time-limited project. And it may not flow even as well as it does now. In reality, our flow is just a hair better than it was with the huge port at the very top end, but it's better everywhere else. You would have to go back in the earlier videos and compare them, and then if I'm not accurate, let you know. I actually didn't show you guys the last couple of modifications and flow tests. I may just go over them real quick, but it's the same type of thing. You filling this in, making this the right height that I want, make sure it stops before the valve. I probably could even lower it a bit. This line with the dykem turned out really, really well. That's really exactly where I wanted it. Now, of course, the inside port is aimed at a different direction, so I'm going to have to figure that out as well. The swirl on this port is quite low everywhere, which a lot of people would say that's fantastic for a 500-inch motor. I would like to see more than it's got. But in order to get more swirl, we would have to bend this over more this way, and that would help. Is it worth an experiment? It depends on what the owner says. It's a lot more time in figuring out. So as of right now, our roof speeds are dynamite. Our roof speeds across our short side are almost dead even. I think it's going to work. And, it's more like a super stock port for a street engine. It's a little crazy. Now, he asked to fill in the floor, but I have a feeling that's just going to lose. It's going to lose too much volume, and it's not going to work as well. I did actually want to do that. I forgot to do it. I was just going to fill it in with clay. But it's going to limit our cross-sectional area too much, I believe. Now, if it didn't flow well enough, I was going to just move this roof up on both sides right at the peak of our apex for just a little more area around the apex. I do have to check it and make sure it's good enough for a 500-inch motor at the RPM we're going to go for. We've got enough valve area to get it done. I think that's all I'm going to talk about for that. Let's take a look, different angle on this. I'm not 100% sure that I showed you guys the changes to the short side. Well, in reality, I kind of brought the short side down where there was very little Bondo, and it's the design I had when it was the bigger valve. It really hasn't changed. And I can't get any more area on this side due to the casting. I might be able to sneak it over this way, but my air speeds are good from side to side. So sneaking it over this way some more, I don't think is going to be that big of an advantage. If you look at the epoxy, you can still see we've got a bunch of inclusions and stuff. Does that make that big a difference in how it flows? Not really. I mean, a few CFM here or there. I'm not really worried about it. Okay, from this side, I kept the opening straight. You look right down, the roof is fairly straight. It's not completely straight. Let's put a straight edge on it. Okay, not a perfect straight edge, it's just an old paintbrush. Let's see if we can get it and focus on that. You can see the roof has an arc to it, but not nearly what it had stock. Let's go to the outer and you can see the difference. Sorry guys, trying to one-hand this is not easy. It really doesn't look that much different. Okay guys, sorry, I'm trying to one-hand this. I don't know if you can see that height. That's the height of the roof on the other one. It's been filled at that point, probably about 0.4 inch. Right at the apex of this roof, which is all the way down here, it's at least a ½ inch. Now let's see if we can show you this right at the apex. Okay, at least a ½ inch. Okay, I hate to not give accurate numbers, so that's how much the roof has been filled, 0.386 at the apex. Okay, a little tough to take a look at that wall, but you can see how much different the shape of that is. I don't know if you guys can see the aluminum on the roof. Okay, the roof fin doesn't stick out that far. Probably could be up higher, but I'm not. I don't know if it's really going to make a difference. I got a decent notch around the valve stem, and you can see the liquid comes right out next to the valve. Let's take a look at what the valve looks like. Okay, this is the valve as I got it. You can see we got some on that side, we got some on that side. Not bad. A lot right at the seat. Let's make sure we take a look at the bore. We haven't looked at the bore yet. Okay, you can definitely see our angle, right? Now that angle makes us think that's a positive. Nope, it's a negative swirl that direction. Okay, just double checking the guys. So in reality, we're coming off the short side. We're going this direction. Okay. Positive. Way more flow across the short side. Does way more flow across the short side surprise me? No, it doesn't. Which is why we had to reduce the area on the roof to speed the roof up, because it's not doing much anyway. Everything is on the short side. The short side, I did the slightest layback, and I brought it basically where I had it with the bigger valve, and it definitely works better that way. As far as what we've got in here, my camera doesn't seem to be doing great today, but that looks damn good, right? It is right to the roof. Literally, we've got blue all the way down to here, okay? And all the way up in that bowl. I think that's going to work fantastic. You guys let me know if I screwed this up or not. Okay, guys, Brian Salter told me I really need to work on my paperwork, and he is not wrong. I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna try, guys. Gonna try. I think you guys seen this. This was Filll number 3. We did well on that one, right? We topped out better than it was stock, and we had good numbers. 229.4. I think I did a video on that. Okay, I don't think I showed you this one. I didn't put pluses and minuses in. Let's get them. Okay, I don't think I showed you this. I just changed the apex a little bit. I basically took all the body filler and stuff off. That short side's very similar to what I had when I sent it to him. So these numbers are in reference to these. Not really a winner, but it does top out better. Okay, like I said, I figured I would lose some in here. It really didn't. It's hit or miss at the lower end. We did lose a little bit in the middle, but they're very small. We top out a little better. A huge difference? Not really. If you want to compare the air speeds, that was the short. That's the pinch. That's the pinch after I changed the apex on the short side, okay? What happened on our roof? 198, 186, 210, 195. Not great, right? Because the short side got more efficient. Short side, 378, 393, 343. It actually looks like it didn't get more efficient. Now, this was measured at 0.8. It's flowing a few more CFM, but we're not showing it here. So, that, I'm not sure what was going on with that. Let's take a look at the last one. The third one, these two are both the same ports, but one has a printed bell on it. This looks like it would really help a lot, but it's got a couple issues. It's extremely delicate, and it doesn't have any strength, so it's a real bear to put on and keep in the right spot. It's hit or miss over this. This is with the bell. So it's plus plus minus plus 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 minus minus plus equals minus plus. And you would think, with the shape of the bell, it would really help get the airflow in. Problem is, I can't take any air speeds. It takes up too much room. I didn't go over this. This was the outer wall fill. I did a bunch of epoxy on the outer wall because our speeds were so bad on that side. So how did that work versus changing the short side radius? That says minus, but it should be plus. I know what I was doing. I was looking at this one. Okay, let me fix this. Okay, that's one of those things where you fill it in and it really doesn't help. So we got 1 plus, minus, 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 minus pulsation. We had a pulsation here too. And that's going to bounce on manometer. It's really having a hard time at that point with air going around the short side, skipping over the short side. Okay, so we knew we needed to do more work at that point. It went from 353 to 346. Number 3, our airspeeds were here, so we can compare 231, 231, 233, 234. Almost identical, right? Over here we went from 186 to 223, a huge step up on our roof speeds. That's center of the cylinder roof. That's a huge improvement. Okay, but we lost flow, right? Keep that in mind. Here we were 195, 208. We went up on both of them because I put so much epoxy in. Okay, but we lost flow. We got good speeds, lost flow. Got to think about it at that point. And our short side, we went from 362 to 343 because now the roof is more efficient, right? We're getting more air across the roof. It's taking some of the strain off of our short side. Our middle actually went up a touch. Not bad, though. And 342, 341. Look at how even those are. Not bad, right? Okay. Moving on. Okay, so we're going to... Actually, I compared the bell. Shoot. Sorry, guys. I compared the Bell to number 5 fill. More roof, more bowl fill. Let's just compare these guys to these guys. These pluses and minuses reference to this. Minus, plus, minus, minus, plus, 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 minus. Okay, it looks good. Would it be that much different than this? Let's do it and take a look at the pluses and minuses. Okay, I changed the more of an apples to apples comparison, right? This has got a clay. This is number 4. This is number 5. Plus, plus, minus, plus, 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 plus equals. Tops out the same, a little bit better everywhere. Not bad at 300, 228. Okay, I took the bench apart, fixed my swirl meter. Relatively low swirl port. Okay, and it's going the wrong direction. Is that going to hurt us? I don't think it hurts you at all if you have decent quench on a big engine. You guys can argue that in the comments. Okay, we're going to compare our number 3 air speeds to what we've got now, from 231 to 230, 234 to 243, 218, 244. I like this better. It's more even top to bottom, and we've got better speeds as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Now on the roof, we went from 223 and 208. I had to give it some more area because I wanted the flows to improve a little bit. It knocked both of our speeds down, but look how close they are. The short side, there wasn't a whole lot I could do. So we went from 362, 371, 383, 406. First time we broke into the 400s. 342, 373. Look how close these numbers are. If you look at these air speeds, this is by far the closest we've come to decent air speeds. I think that's worth more power than just CFM. But let's go and check our CFM. We'll go against number 3 clay to number 4 fill. I actually numbered it number 5 because I put a 4 here to keep myself straight. Okay, here we still had a pulsation. That's at 3. We did some more bowl filling. We lost our pulsation, which is power. Now, you can still see it has a problem after 500. You see how it drops down in flow? That's where she's separating off the short side. It's got an extremely high short side. It's going to be tough to beat that without a head, but we can make the short side wider. Okay, I don't really think we have any more real estate to take over that. And the side we do have a little room has already got slow airspeed, so I don't think that's going to help. But we can compare. All right, let's see if we can figure out how to do this. Give me a sec. All right, we went over that. We went over that. We went over the air speeds. We went over the flows. I think we're done, guys. 18 minutes and change. Holy moly. Let me know whether you think this port's done or we have to do more work to it. You guys can do a little bit of work figuring out how much power we can get out of this where it sits now. He wanted to run a 750 lift cam. I can do more work on it, but I think I'm going to concentrate today on the inner, because the inner is a mess. It needs a bunch of work. In fact, I'll probably have to go buy more epoxy. I think we're just about out. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night.